We need Sam Fisher back in a game of his own. What is up, Dino Crew? And that is a question we'll be asking today. Where is Sam Fisher and why haven't we had a Splinter Cell game? And looking in the background, you're seeing some Splinter Cell Blacklist gameplay going on. And, this game really hooked me. It was my first real attempt into a Splinter Cell game. I've gone back and played the others. Absolutely love them. And for a guy that doesn't look stealth, I love the variety that it gives you. Gadgets, goggles, pistols, being able to customise your weapons. It felt very, very much like the Tom Clancy's game. Now, do you remember the last time we had Sam Fisher in his own game? I'm talking the full-on Splinter Cell game. And it's this one in the background. In 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 had just dropped. The Last of Us had redefined storytelling in games. Xbox One and PlayStation 4 hadn't even released yet. The industry was on the verge of a new generation. Tucked quietly into the chaos was Splinter Cell Blacklist, a slick, ambitious stealth action game that felt like it should have marked a new era for Sam Fisher. But instead, nothing. Since then, it's been radio silence. No sequel, no reboot, just teases, cameos and rumours. Over the decade later, we're still wondering what the hell happened. Today, we're going to deep dive into why Splinter Cell needs to come back more than ever, why the genre is starving for it, and what made it special in the first place, and potentially what a reboot could look like. I'm Dino Harry, Mark Harry. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below with your favourite Splinter Cell game or your favourite Splinter Cell moment. Now, as I mentioned, you're seeing Splinter Cell Blacklist in the background, and I thoroughly enjoyed my playthrough when I first got this. It actually come as a key with my graphics card. And it was the first dip into Splinter Cell for me, and wow, thoroughly enjoyed it. But let's not talk about Blacklist. Let's rewind to 2002. The original Splinter Cell hits Xbox, and it's an immediate classic. It's gritty, it's slow, it's unforgiving, and above all, it's smart. This wasn't your typical action shooter. You couldn't just run in guns blazing. The shadows were your weapon. It was fantastic. You couldn't just run in. The light and sound mattered. And the moment you got cocky, the mission failed. And what made it satisfying, when you got through that mission completely undetected, it felt like a real accomplishment. Then in 2005 we get Chaos Theory, arguably the pinnacle of the franchise. This is where everything clicked. The level design was tighter, the AI was smarter, the gadgets were cooler, and the tension was next level. It wasn't just a stealth game, it was a full-on spy fantasy. Fast forward to Conviction and Blacklist, and the formula had shifted slightly. It got faster, more action heavy. Some fans loved the new approach, others felt like it was drifted from its roots. But here's the thing, even their less traditional entries were still really good. They didn't fail anymore because of bad gameplay, they failed because Ubisoft didn't believe in it. In the background then you saw, the takedown, marking your targets. How many times have Ubisoft used this? It obviously started out in Vegas, Splinter Cell used it. And then the modern games used it. It was fantastic. You look at all the different stuff you're seeing that have pulled from this game. The night vision goggles, knocking out, a lot of Ubisoft's later successes could really come from games like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell and also obviously the Vegas games. The quick kills there were fantastic. I like the way that they do the light system. So obviously I'm detected now. And then as soon as the green light's on, I know I'm not detected. How clever is that a way to do it? As soon as I walk in front of the TV, boom, those green lights disappear. And now I'm back in the shadows, they reappear again. It's a really clever way of showing that you're hidden. There's nothing in your face. It's just a little subtle hint to say, right, you're hidden in this moment now. And remember, for me, I'm not an absolute massive fan of stealth games, but this game had me hooked from the minute I set play to the final mission. So the long silence, what really happened after Blacklist? Well, honestly, Ubisoft moved on. They doubled down on open world franchises, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and other games. They leaned into the big maps, collectibles, and live service hooked. And stealth? That just wasn't a part of the business plan anymore. Sam Fisher, meanwhile, became a guest star in his own legacy. We saw him in Ghost Recon Wildlands, he popped up in Breakpoint, he even got thrown into Rainbow Six Siege, but none of those appearances felt meaningful. They were more like reminders like, hey, remember this guy? And they felt a little bit like cash grabs, in my opinion. It felt like Ubisoft was testing the water without ever really committing. And the fans, we noticed. The more they teased, the louder we got. Because Splinter Cell isn't just a nostalgia trip. It has something to offer. Now, as I say, I'm not the best at stealth games. If you want to watch somebody play Splinter Cell Conviction and other stealth games fantastically, go check out my friend SKMED Gaming. I'll link his channel down below. He is absolutely awesome at these sort of games, Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, stuff like that. He really, really knows how to play. And me, I'm a bumbling idiot at this, as you can probably tell in the background with me getting, alerted by just moving across a balcony there. So why does it need to return? Well, let's talk about it. Stealth genre is really, really quiet at the moment. Outside of Hitman and some indie titles like Mark of Ninja, there isn't really many games that use that stealth mechanic. You know, when you think about it, Metal Gear Solid, apart from the reboot, is pretty dead at the moment. Deus Ex, while a fantastic game, again is on ice and we've not heard from it. Assassin's Creed, that's turned into a parkour RPG now rather than a stealth game. There is a giant gaping hole in stealth gaming, and Splinter Cell would be perfect to fill that. Well, think about the modern hardware we're on as well. Imagine ray trace shadows, real-time lighting that dynamically affects stealth, AI guards that coordinate like real tactical units, adaptive sound design that reacts to your movement. A modern Splinter Cell game could pursue immersion to a whole new level. We as gamers, are we craving it again? I think so. We're, hitting open world fatigue. Not everything needs to be 100-hour RPGs or multiplayer sandbox. Linear mission-based games, tight focus experiences are making a comeback. Look at the Star Wars games recently that have come out, or the Resident Evil remakes. Even RPG games are starting to make a comeback, so why can't this? Real world relevance. Now, tech surveillance, cybersecurity, drone warfare, espionage. These aren't just, things in a video game anymore. These are real everyday concerns. Splinter Cell could tell stories that hit close to home. It's always had a foot in reality, and today's world is practically bedding for that techno thriller. Now, obviously, you saw in the background there, when I was on about the AI could do with a bit of an update. I don't know what was going on with our friend then running in and out of the room while being shot. But remember, this game is close to, 12 years old now? And how fantastic would it be if it had that modern day AI touch to it? So what could a return for the franchise look like? Well, if Splinter Cell does come back, there's two main directions it could go. The classic purist route, this will be a return to the basics. No compromised stealth, levels like Chaos Theory, intricate layered, designed for ghost play, light meters, sound meters, non-lethal takedowns, the works. It would appeal to everyone. But fans of the original trilogy would lose their minds. Now, option 2 is the hybrid method. Think of what Blacklist did, offering multiple playstyles, Ghost, Panther, Assault. You could sneak through entirely undetected, or play fast and fluid with gadgets and hand-to-hand combat. Add in some progression systems, customizable loadouts, and maybe even semi-open mission hubs like Hitman, but darker and more tactical. And of course, we've got to talk about co-op. Chaos Theory and Conviction had some of the best stealth co-op ever made. Two players syncing takedowns, solving puzzles together, improvising under pressure. It was magic. This needs to return. Full campaign co-op? Yes, please. So, what else have we got to really talk about? Well, the cultural footprint. You know what's wild? Despite being MIA for over this decade, Splinter Cell still has an incredibly loyal fan base. People still post mods, they do retrospects, they cosplay as Sam Fisher at Convictions. The iconography is timeless. The glowing green goggles, instantly recognisable. Even people who've never played the games know what they mean. And let's be real, it's rare for a game franchise to stay this relevant without a recent entry. That says something. So here we are, almost 13, 12 years later. The franchise helped define stealth gameplay, stuck in the shadows, but it doesn't have to be. The demand is there, the tech is ready, the stories are more relevant than ever. All Ubisoft has to do is commit. Bring back the tension, bring back the shadows, bring back Sam Fisher. Splinter Cell deserves more than a cameo, it deserves a comeback. If you agree, hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming deep dives, and sound off in the comments down below. What's your favourite Splinter Cell mission of all time, and what do you want from the new entry? Thanks all for watching, stay hidden, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the shadows.